Okay, so now what I do is I assess where to put this flower. I'm assessing the slab, and there's a couple places I could go, but right now I'm gonna tuck this one right here, way back here in the corner, so it's definitely not gonna touch this one at all. Here's what the petal tool looks like for this little flower, and I love these cutters that have a ton of different petals because it makes slab work so easy. You're going to be able to cut out so many petals at once and just get it done. I'm using a floral shaping pad, and I have a huge ball tool. Here's the smaller side. That's what I'm going to use to smush first, and then I might finish it off with the bigger side. But the petal, I want it to stretch out this way, so I'm going to start by pulling it first that way. And then I'm going to push it that way just to like kind of manipulate which way the petal goes and how it ends up. And see, you get this nice little cute petal. I'm going to do it a couple times so you guys can see it. Whatever way I want the petal to land, that's how I'm going to gently manipulate the petal. And it's super thin. And then I'll do that. I think I need 5 petals for this flower. I never quite know. I always just figure it out as I go along. So I just kind of have this pile of petals back here just to make it quicker to transfer everything over. And then I'll just keep pulling petals over, kind of isolating them. And I always try to do 1 extra just in case something happens whenever I'm trying to put them down on the slab. So I'll do a total of 6, but I believe that I only need 5 petals. All right, looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to be using my ball tool and picking up the floral petals. And whenever I go in, I'm going to go at a slight angle. I don't want it to be flat onto the base layer, but I want it to stick up just a wee little bit. So I'm going to make sure that I give the flower enough room to stretch out. So I'm going to go probably about right here. And then make sure you stick it down good so that it's not going to come off later. And you can manipulate the height or like how it's protruding right here by just pulling it back and forth. So I'm going to repeat that step again, get my second petal. I'm going to connect them right there in the middle. Make sure you give it enough room to stick to the clay. I'm going to do it again. This is such a simple flower to make, but I really think it's beautiful. And repeat it. So just like this one, it's got 5 petals. We're going to do the same thing here. And then we will add the center. And then I'm going to overlap right here just a little bit, and that is okay. Not a ton, but just enough to make it all feel like it's one slab. It's coming together as one piece. And there's a little bit of a gap here. I can either leave that or add another eucalyptus leaf. I'm not sure yet what I'll do. I might just leave it because it honestly looks great. But if you wanted to add another leaf here, you totally can. Sometimes I do different types of centers, but this is always my go-to. So you'll see it repeated quite a few times, and maybe it'll become your go-to as well. But I just take my middle color and I just drag a little bit of clay. So easy to do, and it looks really good. And just gently tap it into the center. I'm going to try to mirror like the same size as this flower here. You don't want it to be too overblown or too small so that it's not uniform. You just want to kind of repeat whatever pattern you used for the other flowers that are similar. And I think we're almost done with this flower. Perfect. And here's what we have so far.